Everyone, here's my daily video for yesterday. Sorry about that. I've had some technical difficulties. I think I've mentioned it in other videos. I updated my operating system on my iPhone 6 Plus, and that's what I use to film and publish and edit all of it, actually, my daily videos. So I've had some technical difficulties, and that has not helped with me getting daily videos up. It's working now, so hallelujah, good for that. So today what we're going to do is possibly make this a 2-video day. Today what we're going to do is we're going to start with talking about horizontal planning versus vertical planning. So in the planner world, you might know this as team vertical versus team horizontal. I've had some people ask me just my thoughts on horizontal planning versus vertical planning, and the funny thing about that is, in order for me to determine what my natural planning style is, and mine, the one that I gravitate towards more, is team vertical. I've done a lot of research on vertical style versus horizontal style, in large part because that's the line of work that I'm in, and I do educational design, and I'm also formerly a classroom teacher, and so when I design my planner pages that I sell in my Etsy shop, I actually put them through quite a rigorous process of design, even doing focus groups. I know it's a totally nerdy thing to do, but that's what I've done in order to make the planner pages happen that have happened. So if you would like to hear a little bit of my thoughts and look at some planner pages and just kind of hear the explication behind team vertical versus team horizontal, and explication means analysis, then I invite you to stick around for the video so that we can look at horizontal planning page and a vertical planning page, and maybe you can discover some things about the two different approaches to planning that will help better inform you to make the decision of if you want to stay in a certain planning style, or maybe try out a certain new kind of planning style. And then I'm hoping that this video, what you learn in this video, is one that will help to give way to you maybe working towards establishing yourself in planner piece using an approach to planning that is super flexible, and that's really kind of gaining some momentum and popularity, and that would be like my second video of today. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see how much my iPhone cooperates, but that's what this video is going to be about. I invite you to stick around for it. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So what I'm going to show you in the way of planner pages, planner inserts, is I'm going to show you inserts that are actually planner inserts that are ones that I actually used and that my daughter used yesterday. My daughter is 8 years old. We both like to use our ring-bound planners. Filofax Compact is what I use, and Filofax Personal is what she uses. She uses a little bit of like a hand-me-down Filofax that I used to use, and what I'm going to show you is actually a team vertical layout that I adapted just using planner stickers, functional planner stickers, in order to make it a horizontal layout. Because when it comes to planning, at least with my daughter who's 8, I found that by making things flexible for her, asking her when she's using her planner pages and I'm helping her to prep them, asking her, do you want it to be more like a book, meaning like you hold it up and the pages turn from left to right, or do you want it to be more like a calendar, meaning it flips up and down? I myself prefer a layout, a planning or a planner setup that's more calendar style, and I'll explain why actually I prefer that. And but because she is just getting started with planning, and I'll explain to you why, just kind of in theory, I think that she prefers this, why I think that the book style works a little bit better for her. But we'll get into that in the video, but I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of just like an idea of what it is that we're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two planners so that you can see two different examples of planning approaches, team horizontal and team vertical. And then we can have a little bit of a discussion of, I don't want to say the pros and the cons, but just some of the things that I have noticed about team horizontal planning and why someone might opt to pick that versus team vertical, and why someone might opt to pick that. And I'll also give you, like I said, a little bit of background information on why I'm choosing one certain style over another certain style. So let's go ahead and look at the planner pages. So what we have here is we have the two planners that I kind of told you that we were going to look at. This is my daughter's Filofax planner, and this is an old Filofax that I have that's just like a retired print. These are two bow charms on chains for ring-bound planners that my daughter and I worked on for homeschooling yesterday for our Etsy shop, because we use our Etsy shop as curriculum for homeschooling. And we designed and made these, and so charms kind of like this are coming to our Etsy shop, so that's kind of exciting. And you know, planner charms and planner clips and things, they're not necessary, but we really enjoyed doing them, so that's kind of why they're even on here. So that's just a little bit of an aside. Okay, so these Filofaxes, this is actually a style called Filofax Domino, and it has a really flexible sort of a cover, and then it has a planner band here to kind of hold it shut. And like I said, this is a hand-me-down Filofax from me from I don't even know when ago, just because this is a long since retired print. And I got this from a shop in Australia called the Filofax Shop. And I mentioned that in some videos ago about places to buy Filofaxes, and I will link the description of where I got this from in the description of this video, because I got a super good price on this when otherwise it was going for super expensive prices on eBay. And sometimes Filofax Shop in Australia has those sorts of deals. So this is my Filofax Australie, and then this is called Filofax Hearts. This is a Filofax Personal, and this is a Personal Compact. So you can see the difference in the ring sizes there, and then this is also a little bit more narrow, and it's hard to tell just kind of like right off, but you can see just a little bit. But this is Filofax Personal. Okay, so let's go ahead and open these up so that we can look at the planner pages. Okay, so I have the planner pages open now so that you can see. This is a washi tape clip that I made, and my daughter and I made this together in a little bit of a DIY, and I will link the description of this in the video, and it just pops on and off of the rings just like that. And we'd like to just do our washi tape like this a little bit more than putting it on kind of like gift cards or credit cards the way some people do. And like I said, I'll link the DIY for this in this video. So let's just take that off. Okay, so this is called a dashboard, and this just sits in the front of my daughter's planner, but this is the planner page that we're going to look at here. And this pops right off of the rings, just like this. And doing planners like that, where you can pop the pages on and off of the rings, it's kind of nice because it saves the rings from you wearing them down from like opening up and popping, or opening them up and then closing again. That can kind of put some wear and tear on the rings, so making it so that the rings stay like that is kind of nice. So there's one thing. So let me just take this off here. Actually, we can leave it on there, just for the sake of this serving as an example of what we otherwise would talk about. Okay. So over here, this actually is a planner page that is this one over here, but I just relabeled it by putting header labels vertically like that, okay? And I did that in order to, you know, still be able to use these pages in a a horizontal sort of a fashion, because when I was putting together this to-do list yesterday, and so I consider this to be a little bit of a daily to-do list that I put together for my daughter who's 8 years old, that she was tasked with cleaning her room and KonMaring some of her toys, and it's a multi-day sort of a process, but I did use planner stickers and drew things for her. And so this top section right here is things that I want her to think about and remember. So she needs to remember that her daily chore is no dishes in the bedroom. We have an open floor plan, and you know, sometimes she'll carry dishes into her room, like if she's having a snack, and she has a tendency to forget, so I put don't forget there and then put that there. And then for our Etsy shop, you know, we like to kind of create our own thank you notes and write them. So this is a little bit of a reminder of some of the things that she needed to think of and remember and keep in mind as she is doing this right here, which is the to clean box. So I have like, I guess you could say they're kind of washi strip stickers here, and then check boxes. So I put her tasks here, and then here's a task here with a little bit of a small half box, and then a trash icon. And then here is a die cut icon with what goes with the die cut icon, like dirty clothes in the basket. And then I turn this page flag here and layer the sticker in order for the page flag, like the shape of it, to kind of direct the attention that way. And then it also helped for me to just put all of the arrows and things. And then because my daughter struggles with ADHD and just focus and remembering things, I put down here for her to remember, don't quit doing these things, because the consequences are she would end up having early bedtime, and then something we call the business phone. We have it like an extra old iPhone that she's allowed to like watch or do apps on, that she would have the consequence, of course, not being able to use. We call it the business phone because we mean business when it comes to that phone. So no business phone. And then some of her payday is I have a huge craft stash, and she loves to like sort through it. So her kind of compensation was she was going to be able to pick out 3 charms kind of from the craft stash. It's the same charms, like these sorts of things. I've done custom jewelry and all sorts of things for a really long time, so it's just kind of a treasure box for her. And then we would also be able to have some like planner girl time where she could design some of her own stickers. And then after the don't quit, I put here, just remember that the weekend is coming, and with the weekend coming, this weekend, these are some of the things that we're going to do together as a family. Like we're going to cook together, watch a movie on TV together, and have a little bit of a lazy day when my husband comes home and everything. So, and here's just a motivational sticker. So this is an example of like a horizontal sort of a layout. But what you should notice with this horizontal sort of a layout is that it's not unlike over here what I did, where what I do when I do my planning pages is I will subdivide the space with visual elements with shapes. So this right here, this circle, here's a circle, here's a circle, here's a circle, but these are just like their own, you can think about this as it has like kind of a rectangular shape drawn around it, that it is a discrete sort of a I guess a layout of information. Same thing here. Even though this is horizontal, this could just as well say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Even though this is horizontal, what I still did is I just visually put the stickers in such a way that it fits in its own little space, just right there. And I did that on all of these things. And if you actually look through Team Vertical hashtag on Instagram, you can find a lot of different examples of horizontal planning. And the ones that I look through and that are the most kind of compelling to me, that horizontal planning could be a good idea for me are the ones that the information and the stickers, just like right here, they have white space around them, and the information and the stickers are layered in such a way that visually it's structured still within that tiny box. And that's not unlike here with the vertical layout. Now, the major difference between this and this, even though spatially, so this is spatial reasoning, spatially, this, to, I mean, a little bit of a certain degree, it's a little more kind of like scrunched together, which doesn't appeal to me. To me, this just looks so much more orderly visually, and I'm a visual designer and a graphic artist and, you know, all that, that I need things to look a lot more spatially, just kind of like clearly defined, almost like boxes, almost like building blocks. And to me, I guess you could do it in this way. You would use much smaller stickers maybe to make it work, but this doesn't work for me, this the horizontal layout and everything, and then the left to right kind of turning of the pages. And she has all sorts of things in here that I have all sorts of things in here for her. But horizontal doesn't actually work for me because for me, and I think I've mentioned this in other videos, is I have a pretty significant reading disability. I have dyslexia. And so for me, reading has never been a positive experience, never. Even though I have my master's in education and I'm working towards trying to get my doctorate in education, reading is an incredibly labor-intensive sort of a process for me, and it's always been a negative experience. So for me, part of the reason why a horizontal layout, it feels to me like it's more like reading and reading a book. Like going like this and then turning left to right, it feels like reading a book. And for me growing up, reading has never been a positive experience for me, ever. And it's just because of my, you know, dyslexia. And my dyslexia has to do with, it's called like fluency and processing, where, you know, I'm very, very affected by how things look. And it's not positive for me. So the fact that, for me, a horizontal layout requires you to read something left to right on the pages like this, like a book, and then go over here like a book. That, to me, it makes planning not work in this horizontal sort of a fashion. I just don't like it. And that's just something that I noticed of myself. My daughter is, I mean, I enjoy reading and my daughter enjoys reading, and reading is a natural sort of a thing for her to do just for leisure. So her yesterday asking me to do this in a horizontal sort of a fashion, it didn't surprise me, and it made sense because we do a lot of reading for homeschooling. So that's a little bit of like horizontal planning and how tips for maybe how to make horizontal planning work a little bit more. I've tried horizontal planning in the past, but because to me it feels too much like reading a book, it doesn't work for me. I've even considered trying to do a vertical layout on a horizontal, like left to right kind of pages, and it doesn't work for me. I much prefer this. And I call this almost like calendar checkbook style, because to me, a planner and a planner layout, it's about managing logistics and time. And so the fact that this flips very much like a calendar does, whether it's like a daily calendar, like flipping the individual days, or flipping a wall calendar, to me, the design of this, because it flips like a calendar, it works much better, because to me this is all about managing time. I also kind of feel like a lot of what I do, it's task management. And when it comes to task management, it's kind of like a checklist. So any of these pages here, what you see, these to me are almost like visual checklists. They're like discrete events that are things that are just items otherwise in a checklist. I don't necessarily have checkboxes there, but I can just as well look at these. I mean, some places I have checkboxes, but to me, these are almost like visual checklist pages, like just with pictures. It's task oriented. And I've mentioned in like other videos that the way that I do planning with layering stickers and pictures is so that I can get a visual read on the page. Now this still reads left to right and top to bottom, and that's actually how you read a work of art. If you have ever watched any art appreciation sorts of things, or the way that someone reads a painting or you read artwork is you read it very similarly to how you would read words on a page, which you start at the top corner. So this is how you actually do critiques of artwork and major paintings and things. You start at the top corner and you scan left to right, top to bottom. So maybe because I'm an art teacher, professional artist and stuff, and I'm so used to reading this in a big picture sort of a fashion, that's why it works better for me to have this sort of a layout. And again, like if you split this page like this and made this 2 pages so it flipped like that, to me it's just too much like reading a book, and reading a book is not a positive experience for me. And reading a book is more about, at least in my own experience, it's more about me trying to like have a place of escape and leisure. And for me, planning is about efficiency. It's about being able to get a quick read on a page and being able to see things, like being able to see my plans and then pick up on them right there in order to do them. There is that saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. For me to plan in pictures with these picture sort of die cut stickers and things, your brain will actually remember things that are written or communicated in pictures a lot more easily than they do kind of in words. And in my own experience, just the way that I do planning, when you do things in a horizontal sort of a fashion, it doesn't leave near as much room comfortably, I feel like, in a stacking sort of a way. Almost like I said, like this is its own little kind of like tower, and these are kind of pictorial sort of building blocks. You can even think of them as almost like a Tetris, if you've ever played Tetris before. That's like fitting all the blocks together as they come down. That was like one of my favorite video games when I was little. But this, usually when I've seen team horizontal sorts of layouts, it's a lot more writing and a lot less pictures. It like doesn't fit together almost like a puzzle nearly as much as the way that like I kind of feel like a vertical does. And like I said, this flips kind of like a calendar, top to bottom, or even a checkbook. And this, I never have to deal with the rings. These still pop on and off, but that's in part, I mean, a little bit of like why and how this planner page setup was developed. Just, I mean, I put this through an exhaustive amount of just critical reasoning, and I did focus groups with it, and I had people use it, and I had guys use it, I had girls use it, I had people in all different industries use it, I had my students use it, and it's an intuitive way in which these planner pages are designed to work. Now, similar to a calendar, you know, it flips kind of like a calendar because this is about managing logistics and time. So that having that like this, it just makes sense to me. You know, like when your month passes, then you flip like this. When your week passes, then you flip like this. And again, you don't have to deal with the rings ever. So that's why this sort of planner layout, this page layout, this team vertical layout, it really, really works for me. And I still use planner stickers and things, and I still use all of the different items, but this feels more like a calendar. So that's kind of why I I even design this and how I use it in this way. To me, this doesn't feel as much like a calendar. It feels a little bit more like a book. And because my daughter doesn't have experience with wall calendars or even with like checkbooks, I think maybe that's why this is a more comfortable sort of a layout for me to manage than this one over here. For her, the intuitive design of this, intuitive means it just kind of comes from within, it's like innate. It makes sense to her because it feels like a book, and she thinks about it as like, this is my book, this is my planner. I don't necessarily think about the many, many things that I might ever have to get done with. I don't think about it as a book because I have things that I have to do on the daily, and a lot of things on the daily that require me to get things done and to be efficient and to remember things. And so I need to have bright colors, I need to have pictures, and I need to have things that fit together kind of like irregular puzzle pieces so that any big picture of a day looks uniquely kind of on its own. My work at home mom life, work from home mom life, for as crazy as it sounds, every week sometimes can look completely different than the week before it. And I don't, for as much as I would love to have like routines, I cannot do that. It just doesn't work for the way that my life works, for the way that my husband's life works, and his schedule and stuff. There has to be just a lot of like, on any given day, my days can look like a puzzle that has no picture for me to go by, and I have to just fit things together. So metaphorically, that's how I know that I have to deal with things, and so it translates this way visually on a page. For my daughter, you know, this works for her, and she's tried the vertical layout and everything. You know, here's just some examples that some things to do if you're just trying to get kids kind of excited for planning, is to set them up with an old planner of yours and let them have some sticker leftovers and just have them be excited, and then as you go along, then you can show them different techniques and approaches about how it is that you can use the pages and the stickers together. The other thing that you might notice is I use much bigger icons and stickers over here as I do over here. It's because I'm trying to pack more information in, so the smaller the sticker, the better. But over here for kids and for their motor skills, it's better to use larger icons. So that's a little bit of just like my take on just horizontal versus vertical planning. And I don't know how helpful this might have been to you, but I hope it was a little bit helpful. And if you have any questions, then absolutely please leave them in the comments of this video, and you know, I'm glad to have discussions about that. You can also, if you want to, join my Facebook group, because you know, we can have discussions in there as well. And I try and pop in there at least on the daily, so there we go. That's it for the team horizontal versus team vertical. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. And I hope that maybe you have discovered something new about planning that's going to help you to better establish yourself in planning piece as much as planner piece. Trying to do that, it's a challenging thing, because there are so many planner companies out there and so many different ways to plan out there. And if you are on YouTube, then you're probably very familiar with the things like Plan With Me videos, or videos about reviewing planners or setting up planners. If you're on Instagram, then you know that there are just tons and tons of folks in the planner community, and they do it in all different ways. And seeing all of the different ways, while it might be kind of fun to look at all the different ways, it actually might be a little bit of a hindrance sometimes, because it kind of gives you a little bit too many options to consider. And too many options sometimes is just as much of a challenge to deal with as having, you know, no options. It just becomes overwhelming, and it becomes something that is just, well, too much of a good thing. There is such a thing as that. So what I hope that I did for you today is simplify the process of understanding the kind of major differences between vertical and horizontal planning. And I really hoped I was able to show you just some of the finer details and some things that you had not even considered when it came to horizontal and vertical planning. And I'm really excited for the video that's coming after this, which is going to show you a way to DIY a planner, do DIY planning in a way that allows you to be completely and totally flexible between vertical and horizontal planning. So then you don't actually necessarily have to make the decision, like the hard and fast decision that it might feel like you're making between the two different planning styles. It's also a DIY kind of planner video that is, it's like super budget style. It's like less than $3. Make a planner for less than $3, even less than $3. It might even be less than like $2.50. So I'm excited to bring that video to you, and it's one that's been on my list, and that's all I can tell you. So if you don't want to miss that video, then definitely subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'm excited to bring that to you. And on that note, thank you so much for all of your comments. I try to reply to every single comment that is left, every single one. That's kind of been a little bit of my goal, and I've done a pretty okay job at doing that, so I'm kind of excited about that because that's been a personal goal of mine. Maybe because I'm a teacher, I don't know. But thank you so much for leaving your comments and just the great discussion that happens there. Thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you so much for helping me to connect with you all and bring you more directed and focused content. And I'm so glad that you enjoy the things that I share, and that we can connect with one another and hang out online and just kind of, I don't know, celebrate our nerding out over planning and office supplies and things. So that's it for this video, and like I said, I really hope that this is one of 2 videos that I do today. And yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out with me today, spending so much time with me, bearing with me in the fact that this is essentially yesterday's daily video, but thanks so much for that. I will see you in the next video, daily video, so I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.